Hello, welcome to this update for Asia and Africa. So let's see some stuff for Asia first. First, the rainfall in the next 12 hours for parts of some accumulation, parts of Indonesia, parts of Papua New Guinea too, and the Solomon Islands, more in the southern islands of Japan, in eastern China, parts of Bangladesh and southern China, Myanmar. And here, for Africa, some spots in Central Africa, more accumulation, and for reunion there in the Indian Ocean. Next 24 hours, a teeny bit more in parts of Eastern China, Southern China there too, more in parts of Japan, and for parts of Central Africa, maybe some more. Next 3 days, more for Central Africa, especially some areas there. It increases for Western India in the next 3 days, a little bit more. Myanmar, Cambodia, Vietnam, some more rain too. Indonesia and Malaysia, some more rain. Parts of the Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea. And it shows this big front going to Western Australia in the next 3 days. Yeah, so let's see here. Parts of Madagascar to reunion, and especially here for China, some very high totals in parts of southeastern China in the next 3 days. Look at eastern China here, so some spots with 200 millimeters, especially in these areas of northeastern Bangladesh and southern China. The rains will continue there, and Japan starts getting hit too in the next 3 days, and then more in parts of southeastern Japan, in other areas of eastern Russia too, and more. In the next 5 days, we have more in parts of the tropics there, parts of the Philippines, Malaysia, some tropical rains, Indonesia, parts in areas near the Solomon Islands, more in New Zealand, some areas there. And let's see. Still some more in parts of Western Australia, but not much more. Western Africa some, and Central Africa especially, from eastern to central to Western Africa there. Especially the west coast here, where those tropical waves come out. So Western India more in the next 5 days, Cambodia, Vietnam, then we got a bad situation here in China. Lots of high totals in southeastern China, parts of eastern China, up to 300 millimeters. Here, looking at these areas of eastern and southeastern China, just lots of rain and storms. Northern Vietnam shows more there too, other areas drier, and southern Vietnam some more. Cambodia, scattered in parts of Thailand, more tropical rains in Myanmar, some areas of higher accumulation, northern Myanmar too, and then we have a very big situation in southern China here, and northern Bangladesh. We have these big areas of accumulation here. Then we have like this area here in Bhutan and southern China with more than 700 millimeters of rain in the next 5 days. So take a look at these accumulations in southern Bhutan and parts of China. That's incredible rainfall amounts. Also here in northern Bangladesh and southern China, more than 600 millimeters here, and also other areas of Bangladesh too, especially northern Bangladesh. So be aware. The southern islands of Japan get some more, and other parts of Japan here too, especially the east and southeast coast. So let's see. Russia a little bit more, scattered in some areas, parts of the east, central Russia there's some more, and let's see what is driving this rain here. But first let's see another model. Wait, let's see. Let's see, this is the GFS now. So it has those accumulations in China and Bangladesh and Bhutan there, and in Japan, sort of in the same areas. There's the excess model that only shows like the southern hemisphere or something. Below the line shows more for parts of India, parts of the tropics there, and there's the icon model, shows extremely high for Myanmar, Bangladesh, and southern China, and parts of Nepal too. It's picking up more rain, just near the coast in parts of western India, China, and Japan, kind of the same areas. So now let's see what's driving this rain here. So first, in this area here of Bangladesh and Bhutan, it keeps showing like continuous rain and thunderstorms in those areas of southern China, northern Myanmar, northern Bangladesh, and southern Bhutan there. Like just continuous thunderstorms these next few days. Like always, it's always like that. So please be careful in those areas with all this rain. Let's see southeastern China here. So there are these thunderstorms or like continuous rain and thunderstorms like every day in these parts of southeastern China, northern Vietnam too. Then more storms, still more for midweek. They just keep happening there in southeastern and central China. So please be careful too. And here in Japan we have a very big situation. So let's see, we have that rain leaving now, that low pressure, and then more rain in other parts of Japan there, joined with eastern Russia because of another low pressure on Sunday. And then we start getting this rain coming from China there and starting to affect southern Japan, and it even forms like a circulation there. I don't think this will be any tropical cyclone, but the model is definitely picking up on some low pressure spinning there. And then the rain keeps affecting southern Japan and eastern Japan by early and midweek, and then it leaves by Tuesday night. But it shows some very heavy rain for parts of Japan there. So be aware. Another system from China to affect South Korea by next Thursday. So, and even parts of North Korea and Japan there into next Thursday and Friday. More rain in Japan and Korea in those areas. And still more rain like next Saturday going through Japan and more coming from China. Still have the tropical rains in Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, in parts of northern Oceania, and then we have this front starting in Australia there, in Western Australia, giving more rain there. And then down here in New Zealand, we also have this cyclone spinning up in open water and continues bringing these fronts to New Zealand there. More fronts and more fronts to just keep affecting parts of New Zealand there. The strongest of these fronts will be between Sunday and Tuesday before it comes down a little bit. So let's see. More thunderstorms in some areas there and scattered rain. And then we have an interesting feature in the southern Indian Oceans, like a cyclone spinning there. It's not tropical, but it's definitely spinning as a low pressure. And we have this front associated bringing rain to parts of Mauritius and Reunion, and even Madagascar there. Some tropical thunderstorms there, parts of the Seychelles and other areas. And then in Central Africa there, more showers and thunderstorms. Let's see, more there, parts of Central Africa and even West Africa sometimes, like Tanzania and other areas. So, and even a scattered shower or two in Northern Africa. So let's see. Some wind. some wind gusts. So we still have the stronger winds in the Arabian Sea, near Somalia and Sumatra and other areas. Some occasional gusts in parts of Kenya, maybe parts of Namibia and South Africa on Sunday, and then occasional gusts in other areas like Northern Africa, parts of North Central Africa there. In South Africa, maybe some gusty winds nearby, and then more gusty winds by Wednesday in Northern Africa and scattered in other areas. And then let's see, in Southern Asia here we get not many gusty winds, but some near Oman, some in India, parts of China and Mongolia too, sometimes some gusty winds. This is by Tuesday, some more in parts of the Middle East maybe, and like Pakistan and Afghanistan, more in parts of the Bay of Bengal. By Wednesday, some more strong winds in many areas, and that's it. So let's see for Japan here. So we have that system leaving, then this system comes off China. It's showing some decent circulation there, and then these strong winds affect the southern islands of Japan and other areas of south and eastern Japan there. And then let's see, by Russia, some scattered gusty winds in some occasions, but no big gigantic system, just in some areas there. Some gusty winds, maybe by Wednesday some more, and nothing big. Let's see. And here in Oceania, we have gusty winds in the ocean because of that system, near southeastern Australia and New Zealand. By Monday, gusty in some parts of New Zealand, but not all the parts, but some areas gustier there. In other areas seem fine here, occasionally gusting parts of the Pacific, but it's generally fine. Let's see. Some high temperatures here. So we still have those very high temperatures in India, like 46 in some areas, and up here to the north even 46. Down here too, 44. And then in the Middle East is another hot spot, 47 in many areas. Parts of Saudi Arabia too, and Egypt and Sudan into the 40s. And also here for parts of Morocco, Mauritania and Algeria, very high in some areas, into 47 and more. And it's colder in Southern Africa, some colder temperatures there, in Lesotho, parts of South Africa too. Even hot in these areas here of Western Asia and more. I think it's interesting to show you some wave heights. So let's see, some bigger waves near Australia there because of that system, near Japan too, and then these new big waves form there near Japan, and these bigger ones get closer to New Zealand. Some bigger waves in parts of the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea too, maybe in the Indian Ocean. Yeah. So let's see if there's something else here. Some warnings maybe. These change all the time, but let's see. Some warnings there for maybe rain and rough seas and stuff, and frost too. And let's see. Some heat wave warnings in India. Some heavy rain warnings for northeastern India too, because these totals I showed here, that's Bangladesh, and I thought this was northern Myanmar, but this is actually northeastern India. So some very heavy rain northeastern India there. So let's go back here. Let's see. China has literally more than 500 warnings per day. Japan has a lot too. Many fog, thunderstorm advisories, and soon they might have some rain warnings and high wave warnings because of the new system forming there. They have thunderstorm, high wave, and rain warnings in the islands there. Tons of warnings in Russia for all sorts of stuff like rain, fog, thunderstorm, wind. In Kazakhstan, it's very busy too. Tons of warnings. And let's see. For Africa here, we get some in Algeria for high temperatures. Some rain and thunderstorm advisories further north. Let's see. And this is mainly it, I think. So, in India too, of course there are some more, but some thunderstorm and rain there. In Western India and other areas. And if we zoom here, they have this like small separate warnings here. But this is it. Stay safe, especially with the rains in China, in Japan, in northeastern India, in Bangladesh and southern China, and stay safe.